Hello everyone, and now welcome to Game 3 in the set between Siu versus Minato here on Belsier Vestige. Now, my voice is starting to go a little bit here, so I'm going to be trying to save it just a bit. Yeah, wife left a can of sardines out, and it got really smelly and didn't do me good when I went downstairs to help her. Anyways, let's go ahead and see what the strategies will be here. On the bottom right hand side of the map, we have Minato spawning as the yellow Zerg. Meanwhile, on the top left, we do have the red Protoss. Alright, so let's take a look at this. Oh, always hate it when that happens. Anyways, let's take a look at this and what the strategies will be coming in from both of these players. It looks like we will be going back to that classic Forge Fast expansion coming in from our red Protoss friend. Meanwhile, Minato playing as the yellow Zerg. Now, it really feels like these two players have played against each other quite often just because of what we saw in Game 1 and in Game 2. Siu perhaps knew that Minato really likes late game macro and has a very, very strong late game presence. Hence the Forge Fast expansion into the photon cannon rush that we saw in Game 1. Now in Game 2, however, Siu is going to be coming in, and he is just in Game 2 we saw that Minato actually went for the hatchery second while getting the spawning pool first, and that's again what we're going to be seeing here on Belsier Vestige. A very, very common play. After Siu knew what Minato's trick was, decides to go, you know what, I'm just going to make sure that if you do in fact try to photon cannon rush me, I will have the units in order to stop it. A beautiful play there. It didn't even look like there was enough room to place down a hatchery when in fact there was, as we now see a Nexus already coming in followed by a Forge. Probe will be forced to place down some gateways and start this wall off as well. You can see the second pylon already coming in. Gateway should be coming in momentarily as the Overlord just doing a quick flyby, wanting to make sure to park himself off over here just within sight range of those Vespene geysers. You can see that the gateway has been added, and with this, the front doors will be complete, and Minato should be making his way out with another drone to set up a third base. Where this third base will be, most likely down over here, as this location is a bit far away. Now, Belsier Vestige, your third base, I believe, is actually feels farther than, say, on Daybreak. The walking distance, you go down a ramp, down another to get to your third, and you also expose yourself a lot more. On a map like Daybreak, you have one ramp, and then there's only one way to get up there. The other way is leading to your third, so this is going to be a little bit more difficult for Minato to defend. With that, if Siu can actually place enough pressure with gateway units, he may be able to force a cancellation or even destroy this hatchery later on in the game, and then try to establish up a third base of his own. This is all theory crafting, of course, as we now see both players are still not yet invested in building their armies, just establishing their income. Is Siu gonna be given? Is Siu gonna give enough time for Minato to just freely drone up and have that license to drone? That is always very, very scary if you do not have a harassment technique in order to slow down the Zerg. You can already see that this hatchery is nearing completion. 100 seconds ago, it was a little drone. Now it is in fact a hatchery ready to just collect more minerals for the greater good, as we see this come into play. Queen is over here as well. We should be seeing an inject, and the harvester count is going to be much, much higher for the Zerg in just a second. You can also see that he has gone for a double gas at his natural expansion instead of his main. A little bit curious about that. We'll see what comes of that, as I believe all the bases are just trying to get up to 16 drones. Wow, that is very, very interesting. Already has 16 or close to 16 drones. 14 drones here at the third base. Not that many drones at the natural though, as drones are now just slowly being transferred there as well. Overlord doing a quick flyby, seeing everything it needs to see, and are those gateways being placed down where the Overlords can spot them? It doesn't seem to be the case. overlords are, or the overlords cannot spot those gateways there, and Minato will not know the increase in production that Siu is currently undergoing. Now, Roach Warren now coming into play. We are teching to tier 2, the layer now happening at the main base. We also see extractors now coming into play. We are now going into 4 extractor play. And Minato with a huge supply advantage. 20 supply, even though it is 47 versus 44 probes. We can see 6 roaches, 14 zerglings now being added to this army. And Minato is going to be in a very strong position. However, Siu is already coming in with Stalkers. He does have a Twilight Council. He could be researching Blink here in just a moment. Or he could be going for Dark Templar. No, it is going to be Blink, as the Stalkers are going to be engaging on this far side. And this is that exposure that I was talking about. The additional room over here, Minato actually suffering a little bit of shots or a little bit of hits here, as the Zerglings and the Roaches are now trying to engage. Zerglings, however, have gotten a good surround, and there is that mass recall teleporting all the way back home and allowing Protoss players to be aggressive early on without really committing to a serious fight. Protoss players must have commitment issues. If they can be like, you know what, Zerg players are, it's all or nothing. If you don't want to fight, then you shouldn't fight at all. Alright. Zerglings deciding to pull back here. We'll see what's going to be happening with the Zerg in general, as we are. Nope, I thought we could be seeing a 4th base being established, which would be a rather gutsy move at this point. Minato hitting up to 102 supply already. Only a 10 worker difference, but the income is the income difference is very large just because of these extra 8 mineral patches. Nearly no diminishing returns on any of the bases at the natural, and you can see even if Minato does set up this geyser here, he has the drones to do so without suffering too much of an economic loss. So 20 drones, 15 drones here, and then perhaps another 18 drones off over here. Stalkers now ready to push in. Sentries, Mothership Core now bringing up the rear once more. Does move a bit slower, but it does have enough energy for another mass recall. This is so important. Having that energy for mass recall allows him to once again do a fight without seriously committing to it once more. And Siu is just warping in the pylons and allowing the pylons to come in behind them and reinforce. You should be seeing a couple round of Stalkers now coming in. 2-0 upgrades already completed with the help of that Twilight Council and a couple of Chrono Boost. Here we go. There's another engagement, and there's some force field trapping some units on the far side again. 111 supply versus 147. Zerglings getting stuck on the wrong side of the force fields, as the Zerglings do need to try and retreat. Not all of them do make it out. Zealots now trying to take this down. Meanwhile, we are going to see a flank. Zerglings and Roaches and Hydralisks and all of that creep and adding into such a large creep highway coming in from both sides. Zerglings now coming in from the main way here. Hydralisks and Roaches trying to engage. However, Siu's death ball is just simply too large, and Minato is not going to trade very well at all. Also, the addition of Blink to the army really helping things out, closing that gap, getting in more shots and more kills. Army supply 68 to 62. We are about neck and neck, but the 2-0 upgrades really showing its effect here. Hydralisks unable to really take down many of these units. Stalkers, Roaches, both sides are trying to engage. What's happening here? And it looks like Siu with some beautiful Blink play should be able to survive this and also take down this hatchery. Hatchery looks like it will get shot down here in just a second. Hydralisks now trying to make their way over. Are we going to see, another beautiful time warp coming in. Blink play coming in as well. Roaches trying to catch up to those Stalkers, but the Stalkers moving at the speed of light. Are we going to see another Blink forward? Yes, we will. Focusing down the rest of the units, and this is a beautiful 2-base execution by the Protoss and taking the victory there. So Minato, who had the economic advantage and also had the supply advantage, simply could not handle the tech advantage that Siu was able to get. Those 2-0 upgrades, the Blink Stalkers extending the life, and also Siu able to mass recall all of his units back home earlier with that Mothership Core to reset things. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this 3-game set. some very, very high level StarCraft 2 action coming your way from the Zotac Cup. Once again, thanks to Zotac for releasing these replays.